Hey, what's up, world? Um, this is the Kingdom Community, and our big purpose is we want to bring the 12 tribes of Israel together, as we go from an online community to an on-land community. Now, with our, the Black community right now, there's not too much of a community, and as a people, we're not really living very sustainably. It's a lack of structure. We're not putting God first. We're not putting family first. Everything is kind of out of order, very backwards. You end up putting the children first, and then the wife, and then the husband, and then God. Whereas, the scriptures say, well, it's God, the man being the head of the household, your wife, and then kids. That's the structure the scriptures provide for us. So most of us, are Christians. Most of us are Christians, but not really doing it in word and deed. It's not really being done the way it ought to be done. So we gotta come back to our culture. We have to you know be provide some type of stability to each other. The scriptures being uh a foundation for us to order, bring about order in a community or nation. So we have to bring where we're at right now, which is very chaotic, um, into order. We have to take that chaos and bring it into order and bring back and build the community, because it's looking real bad out here for us. You know, and there was a time where we had our own cities and towns, and Tulsa, Oklahoma. That's one example. It's that we actually had a community back then. We had a city. We were actually trying to organize as a people. You know, and one of the ways to organize is through administration. Bringing order out of chaos. Setting things in proper order through paperwork administration. So it's a need right now for us as a people to self-govern ourselves, and take full control of our image. It's we're gonna have to take control of our image. It's not so much of a choice right now. It's like I said before, we've had black cities. We have to take ownership of who we are as a people, our ownership of our image, our finances, our own economy. You know, we could have our own black sports teams, or black Hollywood, Israelite Hollywood, whatever. Our own markets. Our own Black Wall Street. We're a capable people of. We're a very capable people. We can do this. It's not something that's impossible. It's not impossible. It can be done. Okay, we can stand on our own as a people, and what I'm saying. There's enough of us in just about in just about every profession, whether it's plumbing, electricians, we have city mayors, black mayors. We have anything you can think of. There's enough of us in a field, in a profession of what it takes to keep a city running. There's enough brothers and sisters that can keep a city running. There's cities with 50% or more black population. I think Detroit and Atlanta. Especially at one time it was considered chocolate city. You know what I'm saying? These are black cities. So like I said, there's enough of us in enough professions to keep a city running. Keep it manageable, whatever. Keep it running. There's enough. And I know as a people we run into these false narratives that we can't do for ourselves. There's we can do for ourselves. It's totally possible. We're not we're more than slaves, man. We're more than just our history started in the 1600s when what I'm saying they got us from West Coast of Africa. That's not true. Our history didn't start in the West Coast of Africa. What I'm saying? Really, we're the Israelites. We're the Lord's chosen people, and there's enough history and scriptures to really prove this. You could go to chapter 28 in Deuteronomy, and just read that. It'll basically show what kind of oppression and curses we're under. So these narratives, if you keep running into these narratives, they'll have you think very low of yourself. They'll have you think low of your own people. Especially brothers and sisters who don't know about Black Wall Street or what I'm saying, plenty of during that time there was plenty of cities, and if and the school is not going to teach this, so it's really up to us to teach our if you have a family, your kids, or your siblings, or it's really imperative that they know all this information. Otherwise, you'll just think, they'll think, oh, our history started when slavery started. That'd be the default knowledge. That will automatically, oh yeah, we were slaves and that's it. No, that's not it. That's not the full story. So as I said before, right now we really don't have a choice. We have no choice but to do for self. There's if we don't take our image back, where is that really gonna leave us? If we don't self-govern or do for self, what's the alternative? What's the alternative, if we're not doing for self? Slavery. That's the ultimate that's the ultimate what am I trying to say? That's the extreme of it. Right now is a type of slavery. It's not exactly full blown where the shackles is not only on your mind but physically. But if you don't do for self, if we don't organize and come together in a community or start a nation or something, that's the only path I see. When you don't do for yourself, if you don't have a plan for yourself, somebody gonna make a plan for you. They're gonna put you where they need you. And right now, where they need us is to stay at the bottom. So, we're gonna have to do for each other. We're gonna have to be a people again. And that takes a lot of work. That's a big commitment to become a people again. So the problem, from what I see, in being a sustainable, to sustain this life where you can't even almost say it's a life, because we're not even really living. We just exist. We don't even have any type of generational wealth, anything to pass down. It's hardly living. So the American culture, it's a very backwards culture, and it's getting even more degenerate and backwards, and these things we've adopted as our own. We've adopted this very because basically American culture is really just, when you boil down to it, it's really just white supremacy. And us adopting this, you adopt that same mindset. That's why we don't really, like, when I said the false narratives. Well, the people who give us these narratives are of course going to create a false one. It's not going to be true. It's not going to be it's not going to be to your benefit. Bottom line, really, because it doesn't benefit them for us to grow. It benefits us for us to grow. you know so, as I said before, we've adopted this kind of backwards way of thinking. It's, if somebody would really, take a microscope and just look at what America really is. I mean, it's mystery Babylon. It's modern day Babylon and modern day Sodom and Gomorrah. I mean, it looks just like it. I mean, I ain't gonna go into detail, but this is what we're living in. So let's separate from this culture, man. Let's get away from this American way of life. It's just not. It's not doing anything for us. It really isn't. It's a way of life that is killing us. Really, it's destroying us. So you got to be willing to be you. You got to be willing to be who you were designed to be, which is the Israelites. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what we are. Of course, do your research. If you haven't found out, or just do your research. There's enough history on it. There's enough people talking about it. Especially with the Kyrie Irving thing. So there's plenty of research out there, documentaries. You can to get the information on what's going on, and who we are as a people, because it was taken away from us. So now, we got to come back to it. We've got to come back to who we were supposed to be. Our purpose, not as individuals, but okay, yeah, as individuals, your purpose individually, but also your purpose collectively. And if we don't go back to this culture, then who we gonna be? We're gonna, okay, you can be, go to Islam, but Islam goes back to Arabs, and we're not Arabs. We're not Arabs. That's not us. So like the scriptures say, if we don't do this, man, then those curses, are gonna stay with us. This hell we're living in now, this condition, we're gonna stay in it. But if we are to go back to who we are, then you know we can get out of this. We can get those blessings of Deuteronomy 28. We can do this. We can get those blessings and become very profitable. Just as a people, just look at any nation. I mean, any nation is going to do at least something for their people. I mean, and us as a people, I seen it the other day. It was saying, it was an article talking about exactly how much purchasing power we have as a nation, and it was like 1.3 trillion. There was enough for a small country. It's really a lot, man. Yeah, 1.3 trillion dollars, not 1.3 billion, is 1.3 trillion. So we have money. We have finances. Black people, we got money. It's just where it's being put into. So we have to organize a community. We have to get organized. You know, we've got many black religions, many black organizations, but just no nation. And it's hardly a community out here. It's you know you're not gonna find. I mean, you might find brothers and sisters who are just their main focus is community, but it's not that many, man. And if brother, if your community is usually like Islam or Muslim or Hebrew Israelite camp, usually those are more structured like churches than they are communities. Churches or schools, they usually tend to structure themselves like that, as a church or a school, more so than an actual community. Um, so we got to turn back. We got to get organized, and we got to turn back to who we are as a people. So, of course, the solution to that is start with you. Start with yourself and build you up. Whatever it's gonna take. Get strong enough to where you feel like you're strong enough to stand with God, because that's what it's gonna take. Because that's gonna be the only helping hand I think we're gonna get, the Lord. Because look, I could go into the government programs that's against us, but that's like a whole class, man. That's gonna take forever. And the amount of programs it's outstanding. So we already know how other nations, want us to stay at the bottom, because we're like, 1.3 trillion, in most of it, I believe was consumer based products. That 1.3 trillion ain't going into a government. I tell you that. Or if it is, it's going to the United States. Not our own government. It's going everywhere else except us, because the dollar only circulates once in our community, whatever community that is. So it's time to come back, man. It's time to come back. Build yourself up to where you can stand with God. Like the scriptures say, let the weak say they are strong. Let the weak say they are strong. It's gonna be time to, turn them plowshares into instruments of war. And what I mean by that, I just mean fighting the oppression that's going on. You know what I'm saying? And the best way to fight all these programs and all this oppression is to just separate from it. Just move away from it and just build somewhere else. Because to go against it, especially with the amount of weapons and these nations have, we can't fight against that. That we can't fight against it. Is too much at this point. Best way for us to do is just go on our own. So so like I said, there's a lot of work ahead of us. Excuse me. There's a lot of work ahead of us. Individually and collectively as a people. It's gonna take a little time, but if we keep pushing towards it, we keep pushing, coming together and organizing, we're gonna get there. I believe so. Like I stated before, I believe we're capable people. I think we're very capable. Don't let the false narratives, black women are this, black men are that, and black people are this, they ain't capable, they this, that, and the other thing. Don't fall into that. The best way to stop dreaming and to stop, going after goals is to believe you can't achieve them goals, and to believe, you're less than what you really are. So if you guys, if you're ready, to, take a step, or, you ready for us to come together, really. I mean, Black love means something, man. It still does mean something. I believe so. So you guys, I'm starting a community. This is my first video. I'll be putting out more. If you like this message, like, subscribe, share, and support this message. I'll be doing more videos. Pretty soon I'll have a webinar, and I'll go more into detail, exactly what I'm trying to do, and exactly our current living state as a people. I'll go into more in that in this webinar I'm trying to create. So whoever is actually wants to take the next step and be part of a community, then what I'm saying, you can see what's up with what I'm trying to do, or or go to go to one of the camps, or the Islam, Nation of Islam. You don't have to follow what I do, but if you do like what I'm saying, and you like what I'm trying to do, support my message, share, subscribe, whatever. Like I said, I'll be coming out with more. I'm coming out with the webinar too. I'll be showing you guys, what I'm trying to do, and I'll be releasing the community soon. We're gonna, just to give it to you, we're gonna be starting off as online, and then hopefully building up, get more funds, then we'll take that to the next level and go on land, if you're down. So yeah, man, check me out. I hope you guys like the information. Hope you guys like my message. You know what I'm saying? Check me out. Y'all have a good one, man. Shalom.